Molweni kwa YouTube. My name is Lisa. If you have already subscribed, thank you so much for hopping on. And if you haven't, please smash that subscribe button to join the love train. You guys, I am back with another video, and yeah, it's a story time. It's a story that I've told a little over 100 times, I'm sure, to people that know me, of course. But because I keep getting DMs asking me how I met my husband, when I met my husband, how I knew he's the one, you know, just the story of my life. Especially when I post like pictures of my husband and I, or if I speak about how far we've come together, how long we've been together, and the like. So I decided, because we are still getting to know each other, or rather you guys are still getting to know me on this channel, let me do the sit down and give you just a brief summary of how it happened that I met the love of my life at age 17. So yeah, gather your popcorns, your snacks, your drinks, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's get right into it. So the year is 2012. I am 17 years of age. I am doing my grade 11 in Boksburg, school Voortrekker. I want to date you guys back just a little bit so that you guys understand how I got to the place that I was at when I met him. So I grew up in Villa Lisa, which is not a township but also not a suburb. It's in between. It's bond houses, tar roads, parks, closer to amenities, just like your decent, normal, middle-class lifestyle. But because my dad has always been the sole breadwinner, at some point he got retrenched, and so we had to downgrade. Villa Lisa is where most of my childhood happened, so the transition was crazy, especially given the fact that we then moved to an area called Pumula, and the house that they bought was an RDP house surrounded by other RDP houses, although ours was semi-renovated. It was gravel roads, the schools were far, there was taverns every other street, people were in the streets at ungodly times of the morning. It was just a completely different lifestyle from what we knew as kids, and so we struggled to adjust as a family, especially for my siblings and I. And so that meant we were always indoors. We didn't have friends, we didn't go out, we literally knew nobody in the area except for this one lady that I don't know how I came to know, but she was the one person that used to do my hair. Her name was Uslindile. And yeah, so begins the story. In 2012, while I was doing my grade 11, it was a Sunday morning. I needed to do my hair for a school event that was happening the following week. I can't remember exactly whether it was a prefect inauguration or prefect camp that was upcoming, but it was something along those lines, and I knew I needed to get my hair done, guys. There was no other way. And so it's a Sunday morning. I'm wearing my tracksuit that my mom had bought for me from Jet. Guys, I loved that tracksuit. It was green in color. It had 2 white stripes on either side, and I felt like it was the closest thing to an Adidas tracksuit at the time that we couldn't afford. It was so close to my heart, you guys. And so I was wearing that Adidas tracksuit with, I think, flip-flops, and I had my hair brushed back. I had a plastic in my hand full of hair fiber, hair extensions to go braid my hair into twists. And so yeah, this is me leaving the house, going to Uslindile to go do my hair. It was quite a walk, you guys, so you can imagine what my feet looked like by the time I got to Slindile's house. But anyway, I get to Slindile's house, which is also an RTP house, and with a barbed wire fence. There wasn't a gate, but there was like a walkway where the gate would have been. So I walked in as per usual. I knock on the door, Slindile, Slindile. She's not picking up, she's not answering, you guys. And after like 30 seconds, 1 minute, I realized that I combed up, Slindile is not here, and I needed to go back home at this point. So as I'm about to walk out, actually I walked out of the gate situation, and I was about to go home, and someone down the road screamed and was like, "Hey, sorry, ufuna bani?" Guys, I was so desperate. I spoke to a stranger. I'm like, "Ufuna uSlindile," and then she's like, "uSlindile akasahlangilana. She moved to KZN." Hi bandla, and she's talking to me as she's walking up to me. So eventually she gets to me. I tell her that, oh my goodness, I need to do my hair next week, is this and that. Yeah, but also now she tells me that she knows someone who can braid twists really nicely, but this person doesn't braid masses. She like braids family and people that she knows. But if I beg her, she probably would do it for me. Yeah, boy. She tells me that this girl's name is Uzanele and gives me directions to go to this house. At this point, I'm just like, I will do it. I will walk that distance to go braid my hair. And guys, it wasn't like a house that you can see from where we were, like to say walk straight up there and that's the house. No, it was a situation of you turn left, you turn right, you turn left again and left again, and guys, I got those directions right. Like I got to that house without asking from anyone in the streets. I took the directions from that lady and went directly to that house. It was a white house, and I was ecstatic to see that the front door is open. That means surely Uzanele is there, and that means my hair is going to get braided today. Okay guys, so then in Figege at the front door, and I'm knocking. The door is wide open, but there's no one in the lounge, there's no one in the kitchen area because you can see it from the door. I am knocking, guys, nobody's answering. I'm just like, Amen, that means Nje. I don't know, that means I need to just go back home. And then as I'm about to get to the gate, like to go out, I realize that there's an outside room. Go to the outside room to knock and try my luck. I knock at the outside room. Hey! Guys, opens the door. Mangit, tall guy with big eyes, with a beautiful smile. Guys, Nikinibone, like, Landia says movie, or like is it cartoons or Popeye where they fall in love and then like hearts pop out of their eyes? That was me in that moment. It was love at first sight. I was love struck in that very moment, or last struck, whatever you want to call it, when you fall in love with the person the very first day that you see them. But okay, this is me. I look at him, he's looking at me, I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, and then he laughs. At this point, I'm just like, what is he laughing at? Like all the insecurities come back. Yeah, bro. My hair. Could it be my tracksuit? Could it be my feet that are covered in dust? What is it that is so funny, you know? And at this point, I'm also thinking to myself, or can he see that I'm love struck, you know? Pull myself towards myself because the lady, guys, I don't want to give him impressions. So I'm standing there like, and then he says to me, oh, ngangena. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna get Uzanele. And then he's like to me, Uzanele is my sister. You can come in and Zumbiza. Hey, but it's Ngeni. As I walk in, he offers me a seat. I sit down, and then he goes to call Uzanele. Guys, at this point, I'm like, I want to scream. I want to scream because I'm like, yeah, nah. This is my husband, guys. This is my husband. For how many reasons? Dumb reasons at that point. Because firstly, he looked good, and he was probably the only good-looking man that I've seen around that area. and that must have been the reason why we moved and came to this area, because what else, yabo? And then number two, I'm also thinking to myself, he looks older than what I am, and I've always seen myself getting married to someone that's a few years older than me. And what else? Ukhulumise Zulu. Guys, I've always been attracted, or like I've always known that I would marry a Zulu speaking person. Like that was always top of the deal. I don't know why. I don't know. Well, I don't know. But a Zulu speaking man. So, and then yeah, I'm sitting there waiting for him to come back. And then eventually he does come back and tells me that Uzanele is a bit busy, but Uzanele is going to come, right? So I'm like, okay. He grabs a seat and then he introduces himself. And then he tells me that, he asks for my BBM pin. For those of you who don't know what BBM pin is, there was a phone brand called BlackBerry back in the days. Much like an iPhone, if you didn't have a BlackBerry, then Sana, you didn't have anything. You didn't have anything. It was like the in thing, like Apple today. BlackBerry had something called BlackBerry Messenger, which was like WhatsApp, but like for BlackBerry. So no one else could have BBM except for BlackBerry users. And how you'd exchange contacts is through a pin, which was like, I think 6 numbers and 2 alphabets. And yeah, if a person adds your BBM pin, then they're able to chat to you whenever, wherever. So he asked for my BBM pin, and because I was playing hard to get ish, I didn't give it to him. I think I said I don't have BIS, or I can't remember how the conversation went, guys. That was so many years ago, 2012. So yeah, eventually, as we're having this conversation, Zanele walks in and then it's cut short. Zanele introduces herself. She asks what I'm here for. I practically beg her to do my hair. She agrees, and we go to the main house. She starts doing my hair. Zanele is chatting me up, guys. Zanele is chatting me up. She's asking about me, but like very, very demure. Also, at this point, I'm thinking to myself, maybe she wants to be my friend, or whatever. But I'm also thinking maybe the brother said she must ask all these questions, because how else would he know about me if the sister doesn't ask or fish about me? Yeah, bro. So Zanele does my hair again, and then eventually she's telling me about her, and she's telling me about the brother. Then I knew about she even says to me, oh, my brother is 22. I mean, I didn't even ask. And it was a lie. But anyway, yeah, she says, tells me about the brother, and okay, fast forward, my hair is almost done, but and I need to go back home. So she says to me, no, it's fine. We can tie your hair back. It won't show, and then tomorrow after school you can call me when you're back from school, and then we'll finish up. I'm like, okay, cool, go back home. Guys, I got home and I told my mom that I met my husband. Like, I'm not even kidding. I hope you guys, I'm not even joking. I told my mom, Mama, I met my husband. And some of you might ask about, like, how am I telling my mom this when I'm 17 years of age? But my mom and I have always had an open relationship, like, not even open, like transparent. And I think my sisters and I were very lucky to have a mom that's like that. It saved us from a lot. She's always been intentional about being our best friend, and basically talking about things that you would talk about to your friends and not your mom. But the benefits of that were her being able to guide us, but also not preventing us from reaching our natural milestones, which is dating, which is finding men attractive, which is, those stages, but also do it in a manner or in a way that doesn't throw away our future, or that doesn't cost us or make us make mistakes that are beyond us, if you know what I mean. It saved us from a lot, especially in our high school years. But yeah, okay, so I told my mom about this guy. Hey, my mom is receptive. She kind of likes this guy, yeah, bo. And then on Monday, went to school, told my friends about this guy, came back, went to Uzanele to go finish up my hair, called her. She said she's there, went back, did my hair. I was so sad, guys, that day because I didn't have an encounter with this guy. I didn't see him that day. I go back home. I tell my mom how sad I am that he wasn't there. How am I going to communicate with him? Because now I didn't give him my BBM pin because and then now and then now look at me now. You know, my mom and I are laughing about it and fast forward Tuesday, I get a call from this unsaved number on my phone. I pick up. When I pick up, I win. Guys, he says, do you remember me? And he tells me his name, and then I'm just like, no, I don't remember you. Guys, and yeah, I'm like, no, I don't remember you. And then he tells me, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, okay. And then he's like, he'd like to see me. He wants to talk to me, da da da. And I said to him, yeah, you can see me, but just not today. Maybe tomorrow. In fact, not even tomorrow, Thursday. And then like in fast forward, guys, Thursday after school, he calls to say he's outside. I tell my mom. Mom says, go girl. I go outside. We have like a car date. And we chatted away, guys. He told me about himself, where he's from, how he grew up, what grounds him, what he wants for his future, and the same. I mean, conversation was very serious from the get-go. When he proposed me to be his girlfriend, he told me that when he saw me, he saw someone he can build with, someone he can have a future with. He wants us to lay the foundation for our future by getting to know each other as boyfriend and girlfriend. It was a very serious talk, you know, and I was open to it. I was very open to it. I would say I was quite mature. Fast forward, my mom wanted to meet him because I also think my mom saw that it was kind of getting serious. We were seeing each other a lot more often and so my mom said, you know what, I want to meet this guy. Guys, when I told my husband, Oba Jonga, my mom wants to meet you, he said to me, oh, okay, when? For me, that was a shocker because when my mom said to me that she wants to meet him, I was very hesitant. I thought to myself, I'm you know, because obviously we're not necessarily in the same age range. He's not in school. And you know, now my mom wants to meet him. You know, that I was very hesitant when I told him that my mom wants to meet him. And he was very receptive. He was like, when? How? Okay, sharp, I'm coming. And that also just goes to show how serious he's always been. And he went and he met my mom and they had a talk. And yeah, he told my mom his intentions. And my mom was like, hey, Lisa's still young, she's in school. You know, you guys can continue innocently as you guys are, but don't be extra, you know. My child is still young, and I don't know whatever else conversation they had. Shame, but he was also young, to think about it. He was also young. He was just not in school. Okay, fine. Fast forward, matric year, he met my dad, not in the most formal way. We were going together, go matric, dance. He was my date, and he met my dad as a friend, but my dad almost knew that met my parents. Met my dad. My parents have always always loved my husband. They've always had a soft spot for him, and if we're being honest, mom knows best. My mom was like from the get-go, yes, he's the one for you. Alright. Oh, alright. Oh, alright. Like that's what my mom said. And yeah, guys, it's from then onwards, what happened? My matric year. Okay, so I matriculated and I needed to go to varsity now. But before going to varsity, I was going through a phase, papa, to be honest, and my husband and I broke up for like 3 months, 3-4 months. We broke up, so by the time I got my matric results, we were no longer together. And then I got my results, and then I couldn't go study because my parents couldn't afford the registration fees. NSFAS declined me. Yo guys, I was going through it, and he's also not a part of my life at that point. Otherwise, maybe Shimbi would have done something. It was a lot. Okay, fine. So this is my depressive era. I'm doing absolutely nothing. I'm at home for those few months, and then I got a learnership, a logistics learnership, through my then friend Uvielwa at a logistics company, right? Right, so this is Lisa starting out, and then my husband and I got back together. Really, it was just like a break. It wasn't even a breakup, it was a break. My husband got back together. Now I'm an adult. Now I'm doing things. Now I'm doing things, and then I just fell pregnant, you guys. Fell pregnant at the least expected time. I was very new. It was a month into the learnership, and one of the requirements, or like one of the rules, were not to get pregnant at the learnership. So I am pregnant. This guy, and he's like to me, okay, yeah, I know we didn't plan to get married now, but because it's something that I knew I've always wanted to do, this will just have to be a catalyst. I think I need to go and at that moment, guys, I was like, I'm pregnant, and now this guy wants to come and know me. Now I'm gonna be a wife and a mom, and now I need to be and now they're gonna kick me out of the leadership, and like I'm gonna be a housewife with no career. I really didn't want that for myself, especially having observed it from my mom, because my mom has always been a house executive, raising us. She's dedicated her life to raising her kids and managing her family, but that's just something that I didn't want for myself, especially at that point. So it really broke me. I was unsure. There was just a whole lot of emotions at the time, but eventually incwadi nyani iye, and then afika ibhuti, bafika abakhongi bayilobola. I'm 19 years of age. Lucky for me, they didn't kick me out of the learnership. I completed the learnership. I ended up being, I think, the second highest in the country, not in the country, in the province, and I was absorbed for a permanent post in the company. And I started accepting, to say, okay, I'm gonna be a wife and a mommy, and it's okay, we can do this. We can do this. And also just accepting that the things that we've always prayed for, the things that we've always wanted, aren't going to, or rather, let me speak for myself, the things that I've always wanted, or things that I knew I wanted and probably would have prayed for, aren't going to happen at the time that best suits me. And I needed to accept that. And as soon as I accepted that, life was great from then onwards. And so fast forward, guys, yeah, this is us today. We've been together since, and we now have 3 kids. It's crazy now that I think about it, that one Sunday afternoon, not even afternoon, one Sunday morning, when I was just going to get my hair done, to look good for a prefect something at school, I met the love of my life. And I can't help but think that the events leading up to that day, firstly having moved from Evilaliza to Epumula, and also the events of that day, how I got to Slindile's place, and that lady being there at that very specific time as I'm about to walk out of that yard, and her directing me to this home And me getting to this home and knocking in the main house where I could have found Uzanele and she could have done my hair without being seen by her brother who lived in the outside room. But in that moment, I had to knock and there was no answer, and I had to go knock outside just so that I could meet this person. For me, I don't know, I don't believe in coincidences at all. I believe everything happens for a reason, and just the events leading up to that just show me that I was meant to cross paths with him. And the events of our lives after that as well also show us that we were meant to be with each other up until today. Like, it wasn't a matter of, yeah, I'm choosing you and I'm running with you. Unfortunately or fortunately for us, it wasn't like that. It's almost as though life kept on bringing us into the same path all the time. And every time that we think, okay, maybe it was just a season and it's over, oh no, it isn't. Life just keeps on saying, together. I don't know how else to explain it without taking 5 hours, because obviously this is me trying to congest years of my life into one video that's probably going to be 40 minutes at most. But to be honest, there isn't one thing I can say this is it and this is how I knew he's the one, but more because the events of our lives and how they unfolded have literally always led us back to each other. And there's nothing that we did together that felt forced. Life just kept on happening to us and for us. It was almost as though there is this divine plan. There's someone sitting somewhere and they are literally playing our lives like a monopoly. Not monopoly, what is it? Chess. Guys, like literally like putting things and making things work together for our good. And that's the biggest reason why I feel like yes, he is definitely the one that I was meant to spend the rest of my life with. And secondly, my husband compliments me in almost every way. He is everything I'm not. We are more different than we are alike, but our personalities come together and they form something so solid. We are like this. Literally, it's like a puzzle. I don't know how to explain it, but those who have ears can hear exactly what I'm saying. I've never liked a man or papai, okay? That's another thing. Like I've God forbid, if anything ever happens, I'd never be with a person of papayo. I don't like a man of papayo. And my husband is exactly that. Like my husband's shy. My husband is awkward. Like, he's not a street-wise person. My husband's awkward. My husband is shy. And I love that. I love that. Maybe because it's not who I am, I guess, but it's also because it works out. And my husband is an introvert, I'm an extrovert, I'm outgoing, he's more of a stay-at-home person, I'm a socialite. He's, we balance each other so beautifully. Over and above that, my husband loves me. Guys. My husband loves me, and I love that about him. Like, I love that he loves me. Over and above the fact that I love him, he loves me, and I love that he loves me. Oh, and one most important thing, guys, my husband heals parts of me that I don't want to say never knew needed healing, but that I never thought would get healing. I mean, I grew up being obviously the extroverted child that I've always been, and I talked about my emotions, very vocal. And growing up, I've always felt like I'm not heard, that I'm not understood, that I'm not seen, especially like by my immediate family members. And my husband erases all of that, like all of that, you guys. Like, my husband makes me feel seen, heard, loved, and understood. And so he heals my childhood traumas without even trying hard. He's not even trying. It's just who he is towards me. And yeah, guys, you can't not tell me that it's not meant to be. But also, I'm not here to seek validation or whatever. This is just meant to be a story time. And yeah, guys, we have come to the end of the story time. I hope you guys really enjoyed that. If you did, please click the like button, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.